Hi, I'm Nevindee Amarasinghe, and this is the story of good PR. Hi, I'm Nevindee Amarasinghe. I'm the founder of Good PR Private Limited. Well, I started the company in 2019. It was a very different time of the country that faced a lot of issues, the economy, but yet I did not give up. I started the company somehow because I knew that whole encouragement, inspiration was within me. So initially when I started in 2019, I did not get a lot of support, but I started it somehow, registered my company, did my logo through a friend and did not have a lot of cash to run, but somehow did the basics and then opened my social media platforms, and then I found my first client. So once I started the business, it was not that great, but then I realized giving up is easy, but doing it consistently is not easy. So I kept going, business came in, met many people in the industry. It was just, it was a hard task to wake up in the morning and to do your own job because you're not getting paid by someone else, but you have to earn your income. That was always in my head, and you just, do your own thing and you are at a risk, but that risk never stopped. There were so many people around me said, Nevindee, don't start the business. It's gonna, put you in trouble, because we were facing so many issues in the country. And at that time, I was always thinking, thinking that, okay, whatever they say, they can just keep going, that it doesn't affect me. So if it affected me at that time, I would have not even done this. And since we are completing 4 years this year, we would have not done that. So business was not so good in the beginning, but we kept going. Sometimes you wouldn't realize that starting something will not last long if you don't work hard. So I started a couple of businesses before, even like when I was very young. I was doing this small consultancy company. It's a social media management consultancy company with a couple of freelancers. We did not do a lot of things, but we started it off with a couple of friends, and we knew our strengths and weaknesses, but we did not go long because we did not know certain things that will back up as a business, how businesses should go, right? And then to begin with, there was another company that I started with a partner. It was a bed linen company. So we happened to design and print a lot of good bed linen, but then that ended as well because we did not have the contingency and the plan B. What if this happens? What if this doesn't work out? So as always, I did go through failure, but it did not stop me once again. Even my parents were like really worried. Do not waste time, do not waste money, just go for a job that will pay some amount for your talent. Just go and do that. But as always, it was running, through my brain, through my head. It was always, going around, and I should not stop. Okay, let me start. So that's where I started Good PR. I was not that great at PR, but when I started, I thought, since I'm good with people, why not use the name Good? And then of course public relations is my forte, and of course events and PR together will work something out. So that's where this whole thing began. So as a woman, having your own company and running a family and doing your work, and if you're passionate about some hobby, doing that and doing everything together is not easy. Like I said initially, waking up with the mindset of you have to go to work today, you have to do your own thing, you have to get paid, that is not an easy thing. But this likingness towards this entrepreneur journey, entrepreneurship, is what kept me going. And that whole drive, I don't know when it was in me, but I remember once when I was really young, we had this couple of things in our garden, and myself and my sisters and brothers, we got together and we made some packs, and then we kept it right in front of our gate. Our parents were not at home, of course, and then we wanted to sell that. So that's where I saw some kind of marketing person in me, because for any business marketing is important. So initially when I started my studies, I studied marketing, and then of course the PR and event management came into play. So like I said, the younger days when I got engaged in those activities, and then when my parents realized, okay, you guys can sell and you can do this, that's where I realized, okay, there's someone in me that I need to probably take that whole person out. So the drive is what kept me going for so long, and that is how you become successful, by just not, you put more effort to your drive, then it will take you to a great destination where you must have not expected sometimes that whole destination. But if you reach that destination, probably you know what it is. When it comes to the generation now, it's totally different to what we had in our generation. I see a big gap and a lot of things in different ways that's happening now. So back in the day, when we used to start our job at 8 a.m., we used to rush to the company, and we used to go to the job by thinking, okay, the boss will shout at us and we had to meet our deadlines. But now I see the generation these days, they have taken it quite easy, and they don't know the seriousness of what we have gone through back as the generation. And I believe it's important for you to know how important it is to start everything from the scratch, because your beginnings will decide as to where you will be heading to. Some say your beginnings won't decide as to where you're ending, but to a certain extent your beginnings will decide. So it's good to put effort and to know how serious you should work on certain things, like your passion, your business, or if you're planning to build anything you want, you can do it. It's not rocket science. You can build any business you want, but you have to keep your focus, your mindset, everything straight. So I know for a fact that the younger generation, they have a lot of desire, but that drive is missing. So make sure to put that drive, that encouragement, that power to make anything successful. So someday you can have your own company just like Good PR.